should probably announce on the Discord that we're live. Let me just pull up the background music. And mod view, and that should be all we really need. Okay. Okay, let's post. I feel like this is the third time I've pinged everyone on the server in like a day. But yeah, what can I say? There's a lot of announcements. Hi Jeremy, how are you? Yeah, this is what the sign looks like so far. There's like, we have DIMPL here, but the other letters are behind me. I'm gonna take like a quick picture of this. Kevin says letters indeed. Yeah. Oh my goodness, this wide angle view is awful because I can see like all the mess on my desk. Ew. But yeah, I would like to take a picture of this first, but before I start anything, there's also a few little strings I need to clean up because they basically just hot glue these letters on. I feel like you can kind of see the glue on some of them, but that's okay. It's all gonna be fixed up, you know? Okay, time to roll up my sleeves and start picking some colors. So I'm gonna go for this kind of electric blue for some of the shading. Ugh, this is heavy. Okay, this is a big box of acrylic paint. And I'm gonna pick out the yellow for some highlights. There's some of this like kind of daffodil yellow, but I also want some of this bright yellow as well. So the sign is already like fully opaque, fully painted, but what I want to do today is just add in some textures, make everything really interesting. So yeah, that's the goal. Because, okay, here's my business card. Oh, did I do something? Okay. So yeah, here's the business card that I'm using right now. Yeah, it's supposed to match. So I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a little more texture in this area. You know what I'm gonna do? Oh, Ghosty says hello, Dimple, I return. Hi Ghosty, how are ya? Okay, I'm gonna move Streamlabs over to this side so I can actually see whether the camera's in focus or not. DSLR streams are always like extra stressful for me. You're doing well, that's great to hear. Okay. But yeah, I'm just doing some big preparations for the art show involving Big Sign. Okay, let's keep going through this giant box of paint. It's actually a struggle to lift. It's just very heavy. Where did I put that business card? Okay, so I want to have, you know, some extra textures here. So maybe we'll use the orange, but what I'm really looking for is kind of like a darker pinky red color, but I don't know if I have it or not. Like, I don't know if it exists in this box, because so far I'm seeing a lot of like this kind of pink, like this bubblegum pink. Ghosty says it's looking cool so far. Yeah, once we add in all the textures, I actually have some glitter here that I could add on, like glitter paint. I think that could be really cool, especially since the glitter is kind of like a green holographic glitter, which means that it's like green, but it also shifts to rainbow. I don't know, it's pretty cool. This magenta like is more of a purple. I don't really think this is it. This is straight up just purple, so no. But yeah, I'm looking for, see this like royal fuchsia? I feel like I want that, but no. Ghosty says, glitter is fun, definitely eye-catching. Yeah, and we're also gonna be putting lights around the side, so there's a bit of a lip on each of these. I don't know if you can tell that my finger, like part of my finger is disappearing under this. Yeah, that's where the lights are gonna go. So I have string lights that I'm gonna attach all around the borders of these letters, and they're just gonna be hidden, the string lights right under that lip. Hang on, I need to do something real quick. Okay, you know what? Maybe we'll just have to make do with mixing red in with pink. I don't know. The lights is such a cool idea. Thanks so much, Ghosty. But yeah, sorry you guys for the late stream today. I was really tired, and then I also had to work on this and get it ready so I could actually stream it today. But yeah, I'm just really glad to be here now, picking out paint colors with you guys. This is like a glow in the dark. Yeah, I just am not very organized when it comes to my paint colors, I'm gonna be honest. Like, okay, here are 3 of basically the same color that I need. Okay, do we need anything else? I guess I could take this Christmas red, is what it's called, and then mix it with pink, and then maybe I'll get the color I want. Yeah, okay. Ghosty says it's cool, the later streams are just as good. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you guys understanding. I just like, I don't know. I like to be on schedule. Okay. I'm scared, actually. Should I like move the camera up a bit? I should, you know? Should do that. Oh boy. This is gonna be scary. Oh my goodness, it's so tall. This is like excessively tall. But now you can see the whole thing. Gala says, whoa. Ew. TMI, but every time I finish eating, I always get a little phlegmy. Yo, you guys, I'm like actually scared to paint. I'm scared to paint. I'm scared. Like, this is incredibly intimidating. I'm scared. Somebody help me. Somebody come help me, I'm scared. Okay, Eugene says, OMG, hey. Gala is here. Jeremy called her illegal apples. Oh, I see it. Illegal apples. Okay. I gotta do this. We're gonna just commit to it. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna start with M and like put the paint in there and see what happens. Jeremy says she needs an adult. Yeah, I do indeed need an adult. But yeah, what I want to do is make this like texture. See why I'm scared? Like, this is such a commitment. And I'm not even sure if I like it. Katie says, All Might voice, I am here. Hi, Katie. We're doing some highly questionable texturing for our giant sign. Eugene says, wait, I thought your name was Eve Eskshede. Yeah, I rearranged the letters back to dimple cheeks. I wasn't really into the whole scrambled letter thing. The last thing I painted was brown, I guess. I don't even know what the last thing I painted was. It's hard to do the same thing that I would do with digital art. But yeah, you guys, I'm really just going all in. It's gonna look worse until it looks better. But I'm starting with this kind of yellow glow, then I think I'll go in with pink and add some texture in. But yeah, this is just a general reminder, but try to keep the chat in a language that me and my mods can understand so that we can make sure that everything is going well. So far I know that there's nothing inappropriate happening, but you know, just in case, right? Okay, this looks crazy right now because everything is just really smooth. But I want the whole thing to have this like painted texture. Ah, Eugene is literally translating. I appreciate that, and it's always cool to learn. Maybe I'll amend that rule to be unless you translate. Okay, so this is what we have so far. I don't know. This is actually terrifying. I'm scared. At least the paint is sticking. But also the paint is sticking. Like, what am I gonna do if I don't like it? But yeah, I had such a smooth and pristine sign, and now I'm like changing the vibe completely, and I really hope I don't regret it. My mom told me to keep it simple because my mom always gives really good advice, but I said, it's gonna look cool, it's gonna be fine. Ew, there's like hot glue in my paintbrush. I don't like that. But yeah, it's crazy. My tripod is so tall right now. It's like up here. It's almost as tall as my regular standing height. Woo! But yeah, suffice it to say, I'm nervous because I started out with something that already looked good, and I don't want to end up with something that works bad. That looks bad. Kevin, I finally understood your joke. It took me like 5 minutes. Kevin says the appropriate is out right now, not in. Hi, Manix, how are you? We're adding some texture details onto my sign, and it's an interesting time. Don't know how I feel about it yet, but I think the more textures I add, the more interesting it's going to be. So I just have to kind of bear with it. Remy says the whole gang is here tonight. Manix says, good, how are you doing? I had an interesting day. I was like really tired. Probably because I stayed up too late playing The Sims. After my big commission, I was just like, I want to play Sims. So I played Sims. And then today I worked on assembling this sign. So here's the first part, the part that says dimple without the E, and then there's like E-C-H-E-E-K, E-C-H-E-E, and then there's K-S-S. Manic says, I've stayed up all night playing The Sims before. Happens to the best of us. Yeah, I don't know. I was building, I don't know if you guys who play The Sims know about Judith Ward. She's like the super famous global superstar from The Sims 4 Get Famous expansion pack. So I'm building a giant mega mansion for her, not because I like Judith Ward, but because I think she's interesting. Like, I consider her the closest we have to an antagonist type character in The Sims. Like, I mean, other than Vlad, the vampire account. Like, I think she's, like, interesting. So I want to build her a huge mansion that, like, it's, like, really expensive, but it also just shows how she kind of has bad taste and she's kind of a mean person. Yeah. And just like not a very down-to-earth person, like not someone you could be friends with. And her current mansion, the one that the game gave her, it looks like just a giant suburban house. Like it really doesn't look like a mansion at all. And you know what, I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, if I'm gonna have an antagonist in my game, she needs to, you know, have a house that's antagonist-like, you know? She needs a house as snobby as she is. Like, I was playing as her for about 5 minutes, and all she wanted to do with everyone was just argue about, like, stupid things. She's like, argue about kindness, you know? Argue about, like, how you'll never be as famous as she is. Jeer, mock, you know? That's all she wanted to do. I kept having to cancel those interactions because I didn't want her to make any, like, life-altering choices while I was just there to work on her house. And also because I'm too nice and I find it difficult to play as mean Sims. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it from a storytelling perspective, I should have just let her be mean to people. Manic says, she's definitely funny. It was peak humor when she met with my Sonia Sim. Oh my goodness. Wait, I kind of want to know what your EA ID is so that we can share our Sims. I would love to see a Sim of Sonia though. Oh my goodness, iconic. But yeah, I'm so happy that some of you know exactly who I'm talking about. Okay, do I like this? I don't know. Give me a second. Let's switch to just face. You can see like the camera's like up here. So scary. Eugene says, so we are getting a blizzard, which is something I'm kind of worried about. If it takes out my power tomorrow, I'm gonna miss my German class and first language acquisition class. Huh. Yeah. I've been hearing a lot of like snow removal memes or like how to cope with the impending blizzard memes. You know what? I don't hate this from a distance. It's actually kind of cool. Manic says, I don't currently have a PC to play and check my ID, but I will absolutely get that set up when I get the new PC. Exchanging Sims sounds hilarious. Yeah. Oh, not that one. This one. Okay, here you go. Okay, let's see. Eugene says, LPMID. Yeah, my name. Elfmid. LQMID. It's coming along so well. Thank you, you guys. Thanks for the encouragement. Okay, here's some orange. And I'm gonna test it. That is a lighter orange. I kind of like that. When it's wet, you can just kind of wipe it off with your fingers. But when it's dry, it's on there. It's not coming off. Manic says, Evil Dimple be like, doesn't know how to sew. I still kind of don't know how to sew. I'm self-taught. So I'm really just doing the best I can. Okay, no, this is terrifying. I don't really like that color. Was this daffodil yellow? This is bright yellow. Okay. Ghosty says Evil Dimple arc when? I don't know if I have it in me. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I have it in me. I couldn't even play as Judith Ward. I think I do this. And she's not even like evil, she's just not very nice. This is scaring me. Why did I try so hard to make it like smoothly painted if I was just gonna do this? All for style. Sometimes you just gotta work with it. Ghosty says on Halloween you should set your name to LQIMB because spooky. Oh! Manix has redeemed a hydration check. Let me go grab my water bottle. In my excitement to start painting, I forgot to set that up. And all I have is this bucket of paint water over here to drink. Eugene says, I found videos that teach you different types of sewing patterns. Yeah, there's a lot of sewing patterns. Yeah, I'll be right back. Actually, what I do is I normally draft my own patterns, so everything just fits me. I don't think it would ever fit anyone else. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Eugene says I legit didn't know there were that many sewing patterns. Alright, I raised my water bottle to Manix. Thank you for that refreshing sip of water. Oh yeah, Eugene, there's as many sewing patterns as you want there to be. Unless you mean like different stitch. Oh, and the bonk. Unless you mean different stitch types, then yeah, there's a lot of those too. But a pattern for sewing is basically, how do I explain it? You know when you're making three-dimensional shapes out of paper, and you make that three-dimensional shape into a 2D net? Like, do you remember learning that in elementary school? Making nets out of objects? Like, for example, the net of a cube is a bunch of squares attached together, and when you fold them up, it turns into a cube. So sewing patterns are kind of like that, except you're making like a net. Jeremy says, did someone say a net? Yeah. From Fire Emblem Three Houses. So those are stitch types that you're thinking about then. But sewing patterns are like, say you want to make a net of a person's torso, that is a net, like that is a sewing pattern. Let me show you, actually. For example, this is a section of my back. It says back on it. And another example, yeah, I have a really messy desk. This is a sleeve, so this is where the shoulder is. And then it joins under the armpit on these sides. So yeah, those are sewing pattern sheets. I don't know why I have them on my desk still. I'm past the point of the project where I need them. Whoa, okay. I hope you guys didn't see that. I got paint on my computer. There was a point in time where my PC was always covered in plastic wrap because I did so much painting and I just didn't want to ruin it. What happened to those days when I cared? Oh boy. Oh boy. Maybe I shouldn't have the brushes and the palette be on my keyboard. Maybe that's like a bad idea. I don't know. Maybe we don't do that. But yeah, any stream with the DSLR is just pure chaos. Which isn't good, because cameras are expensive and I would hate for something to happen. The nice thing though is because of all the lights, the paint is drying very quickly. Yeah, hopefully this is just one of those things that looks... Oh, hey, I actually like that. I like that when I layer the orange on top of that light yellow, it looks better. Like you can see the yellow poking through, but not in like an overly obnoxious way. Oh no, that's not good. This is so chaotic. I hate this. Now, if you're wondering what this is for, this is for my art show. If you're on the Discord, you might have seen me post it in the Dimples First Art Show channel that has all the updates about things that I'm working on for my exhibit. Nightbot actually just posted a couple links where you can get tickets to the event, all that fun, good stuff. But yeah, okay, I like that. Eugene says Nightbot is listening to us. Everyone run. Actually, I said it after I saw Nightbot. So really, I'm listening to Nightbot. I don't know what's worse though, me taking my cues from a bot or the bot taking its cues from me. Okay, wrong yellow. Where's here? You know what's really interesting? The first iRobot book, like not the one with the story that Will Smith is in, the iRobot book by Isaac Asimov was written in like the 1950s. So all those like rules that the robots have to follow, like those are all thought up in the 50s. This was like 50s science fiction. Yeah, the laws of robotics. Yeah. But yeah, some of the stories in that book are really interesting. Like there is one computer, and it's like the most intelligent computer in the world. And then this lady scientist, you know, like they write her as like, she's a scientist, but she's like also a lady. Like she's not just a scientist, she's like a lady scientist, you know? They write her like that, and then they're like, she might seem cold and unfeeling, but she's really a lady, you know? And she asks the computer, and she's like, does this guy love me? And then the robot says something like, no, because you're ugly. And then she like permanently breaks the computer by asking it like a really complicated question or something, and then she's like, they're like, why did you do it? And she's like, out of spite, because it insulted me. Evan was like, part-time lady, full-time scientist. Exactly. Yeah, and the moral of the story is like, women are irrational and emotional, even if they're a scientist, you know? They'll just break your stuff because they feel like it. And I'm just like, this is dumb. I hate this. I thought it was kind of funny, though, that she broke an incredibly important piece of equipment out of spite. Eugene says, best question to ask a supercomputer, what is 1 divided by 0? I feel like it might have been something like that, but probably not. It was like a philosophical question, and then I didn't understand. The thing is, right, she made that computer, so if she programmed it to be rude, you know, like, who, yeah, it was like a paradox question. Like, whose fault is that, really? And I'm sure if she was, like, that smart, she would have known that she's like, I made it do that. Yes, I didn't give it manners. Kevin says part-time lady, full-time scientist. Pretty much, yeah. But I mean, for a book written in like the 1950s, what do you expect, right? And I had like a really weird dream last night. I had a dream that I always have dreams that I'm back in high school, but I had a dream that I was back in high school English class and that I was late, and also that I could roller skate in the hallway of the school. And this sign is difficult to get the tops of here. Okay, cool. Maybe I add some like little hints of yellow, just like around here and there. But yeah, my English teacher was known to be quite strict, but also very fair. And I'm so glad I never had her at 8 in the morning because I would have always been late. I can't do 8 in the morning classes. So, you know, I try not to set myself up for that. Eugene says, I think I know which one. Yeah. Once, just to avoid having any 8 a.m. classes, I gave myself like a full day schedule with no lunch. And I was like, do I have to have a lunch? And they were like, you don't technically have to, but you'll probably want one. And I was like, I don't want one. I just don't want to have that 8 a.m. class. And then my high school was like, okay, all right, you know, we'll see how long you last, but if you need to drop the course, you know, we'll see you again soon. Hang on, I'm gonna do something a little risky. Eugene says, how did you fare? I dropped my, I dropped one of the courses because I couldn't handle, having that many back-to-back classes. Okay, I'm just wiping the paint off here because I feel like I put too much yellow. It's okay. I took the first one and I just wasn't really crazy about it. It was a fashion design course. Oh, Kevin has to go now. Good night. Thanks for dropping by to say hi. Oh yeah, by the way, you guys, is there like an echo with the audio capture right now? Like, how is the audio? I know that sometimes for when I use, how do you say? We're good? Is there like a buzzing sound? Because I know sometimes when I use my DSLR, there's a buzzing sound. Maybe if I do this, it won't have it. We don't have any cricket sounds though. There's a small buzzing, okay. Or it sounds like a fan. Yeah, what if I like did this? Do you guys still hear a buzzing sound? Frogs and fan going off at the same time. Oh well. I don't know. It always happens when I have the DSLR plugged in. I guess we'll just have to bear with it. Let me try this pink color. Just gonna use my finger, dab it on. That is underwhelming. See, I knew it wasn't gonna be strong enough. Okay, I'm gonna add some red into the pink and see what happens. Ew, I forgot to shake the paint. It creates an interesting ambience. Yeah, we'll just call it like a summer night ambience where you have your fan on. And the window open. It's plausible, you know, it's a thing that could happen. I forgot red has really big tinting power. But you know what? That's a good shade. So we'll stick to that. I'm getting paint on my desk. It's gonna happen one way or another. If I wasn't so eager to just do things, I would have set down some paper first, you know? Oh my goodness, I don't like that one. Too much. But yeah, okay, I like that. There's like a bit of shading. There's like a shadow coming from the outside. So there's like a gradient situation. I really like that. Like, okay, I'm into this. I keep making the mistake of like adding too much of this, but I guess that's what paper towels are for, blending. But yeah, this is what we have so far. Okay, it's really hard to get the bottom corner of the leftmost side in frame, but I'll do my best. Whoa, my lamp fell down. This is why I didn't want to stream the sewing stream with the DSLR, because the tripod is just here, which freaks me out. Okay, you can barely see what I'm doing, so I'll just hold this up here. Just trying to make an interesting blend on this side. I'm gonna need to wipe my brush. There's too much red on it. But yeah, this is actually gonna match my business card really perfectly, which I am very into. Like, that's what we call solid branding, you know? There's like a lamp here that I keep smacking. Okay, but Jeremy, you know what Union was talking about yesterday? About those sounds remind me of Don't Starve Together. So you know when you're like hitting an enemy in Wind Waker and they go like ba-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da, you know? And it's like a bunch of dissonant orchestral chords. And like the more times you hit them, the more, I guess, complex the chords get in a way. But yeah, when you get hit in, yeah, that's what we were talking about. You know when characters talk in Don't Starve, they make similar sounds? I already have paint on my arm, like here. But yeah, that's what we were referring to. It's not any of the actual music or anything. It's just like you hit a character and then they go da 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 da. But yeah, I thought of Don't Starve as well when I heard that for the first time. So I know it wasn't just Union. But yeah, we've gone from a very like clean, glossy look to a very like painterly look. And I like it. Okay, it's time to mix up more of this color and I hope it comes out well. So we've got the pink and then we have the red. We'll see. Yeah, that's about right. I feel like we actually need a touch more red, but you know what, this is like fine. There's a lot of things that I should be doing, you know, my computer should have plastic wrap on it to prevent any issues, and like I should have plastic wrap on. I should have a smock on to prevent myself from getting paint on my clothes, but oh well, you know, oh well, we're doing it this way. Okay, I'm just gonna make these dabs here. David says, how about a hairnet? Not in this particular situation, no. Back when I was doing woodworking though, this absolutely would be a hazard. No, the hair is a lost cause at this point because of all the cat hair that's on this already. But yeah, at this point, I don't care if hair gets in my work. It's already like embedded in the paint. I don't know if you guys can see, there's like little hairs in there, whatever. Garbage says, oh my god, I called you garbage. David says, oops, it's PPE. Oh, you want PPE. You want PPE? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, I guess I'll spend the whole stream like this then. Garbage David says it's fine, I go by garbage. I remember from the stream that you think it's funny when people call you garbage. Stream? No, podcast. Yes. By the way, Garbage David has a podcast called Personal Best on YouTube. So if you check out Garbage David's channel, it's like linked at the top. And you know, the latest podcast that was like posted a little while ago features Jeremy 145. So if you're already following Jeremy, like I tell you to every single stream, you might wanna check out that podcast. Hang on. You know what? It's kind of hard to type right now, Jeremy. Can you shout out yourself and Garbage David, please? Thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna try something a little wild. We're gonna mix like purple with this color and see what we get. I say that as if I don't know what we're gonna get. Like, I know, I just don't know if I'm gonna like it. Okay, hang on. Let me find the purple. Is this purple? This is brown. Is this purple? This is black. This is blue. I have a lot of paint. Katie says I gotta go, it's kind of late. All right, well, bye Katie, thanks for dropping by. Jeremy, don't forget to shout out your own channel too. Thank you. See, look, there's cat hair everywhere. Fun fact about a lot of like woodworking type machines. You might, Jeremy says it feels a bit weird to do that. Okay, fine. 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 I'll do it. Look at me trying to use my computer. Do you feel bad for me? You guys, you have to go follow him now, because like, look how much effort this takes. Look, 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 look. Ew, look at this like paint booger. Gross. Jeremy says thank you. Yeah, you better be grateful. I reached over my painting and I only have an inch of my touchpad to use right now. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with this. So let's see, maybe I put this one aside for now. I need like a place to rest these brushes. Okay, maybe I put this aside for now. This is what we have so far. And I bring another part of the sign and we do the background the same way we did this one. I think that's a good plan. I'm gonna try to fit this on like the side of my desk. Oh boy. Cool, okay. It's like off camera, but at least I can still see it for a reference, yeah? Okay, the next part of the sign is Ichi. For backwards, it looks like this. Okay. I'm gonna take a picture of it because I like to document my work as I go along. I'll take a picture of the other one later. But yeah, I'm happy with how this is going. And you know what? I think it'll go faster this time because I know what colors I like. I might have to get a spray bottle to revive some of my paint and keep it from drying out. But I'll deal with that later when I need to. By the way, this styrofoam plate has been my paint palette since 2013. It's been my paint palette for literally nearly 10 years. We're gonna, this is the 9th year of me using it as a paint palette. Okay, so we start like this, it looks questionable, and then we go from there. But yeah, it feels so good to have like that other sign background painted in a way that I'm happy with. I say as I reach over and add a few more touch-ups because I'm not happy with it yet. I'm just painting this way. Yeah, I don't know, but overall I think it's pretty cool. You know, there's another type of hair that's on these letters, and that's hot glue hair. So you know when you hot glue things, there's little strings of hot glue that just come out when we stretch it. Like that's all over this, and I tried to pull as much of it off as possible, but there's definitely some that I missed. And there's some like inside the corner of this E that I just can't get because it's like a weird shape and my fingers don't fit in there. Like there's 2 hot glue strands over here that my brush is picking up. And earlier I could not for the life of me pull them out. So, I mean, hopefully the painterly texture of the sign will kind of hide any hot glue strands, any cat hair, any of my hair, you know. I think in a little bit I just have a hunch my camera is probably gonna die, and then I'm gonna need to switch batteries. And when that happens, you won't be able to hear me, so do not panic. It's gonna be okay. Like, you won't be able to hear me say, hey, like, the camera died, I'll be back. You know what's funny? The palette is as old as the camera. Here, this is the palette and the camera are the same age. This palette is heavier than you would think for a styrofoam plate, by the way. But for a 10-year-old paint palette, it's actually pretty light if you think about it, because I've been pretty economical with my paint, and I don't leave a lot of paint on that palette, if you know what I mean. Like, I scrape it off before it has time to dry and I use it. Like, if I were particularly wasteful with the paint, it would probably be way heavier. But yeah, I tried really hard to fit one of the E's onto the first part of the sign, and it just wasn't working, so oh well. You know. So now I have 3 E's on this part, and some of them are like off the side, like the end E's are off the side of the sign. So like they don't line up completely with the edge, which is why this glow is getting cut off here. But that's fine. It's like fine. Okay, cool. I think my least favorite part is adding the initial yellow glow, because I think it never looks as good as I want, you know? But obviously that's because it's just the beginning stages, so I mean, it's gonna look like it's in the beginning stages. My favorite part is when I add those final magenta touches on the border. I really like that color combined with this orange and the yellow. But yeah, every step before that is just me worrying if it's gonna look good or not. Something weird happened with the E. I don't know if you can tell, there's like weird color variations. I don't know. It just didn't work out very well, but it's fine. I'm gonna be painting over it anyways, and no one's gonna be able to tell. But yeah, it's actually kind of difficult for me to get the tops of the letters based on the angles I'm painting at. But yeah, it is going a lot quicker than the other piece, which I'm grateful for. If you're wondering where all of this acrylic paint is from, the dollar store. I do like my good quality rich acrylic paint. There's like a huge hole in my hair over here because it's like pulling in a weird way. I don't like that. I'm self-conscious. Anyways, yeah. I do like really rich acrylic paint, but it's also really expensive. And sometimes this thin stuff is just really good for texturing because you can tell it doesn't apply in a very opaque way, so you get lots of brush strokes. And yeah, it's good for that. It also doesn't have a lot of body, so it tends to apply very flat, which I like. So lots of brush strokes, very flat. In some pieces, you know, you wouldn't want it to be streaky and not textured. But, you know, they have their uses. For example, if you want to tint something in your painting, it's cool to use like a little dollar store acrylic paint. It's really useful. More than acrylic paint, it really has the texture of like a gouache, which is kind of tempera paint's rich cousin, gouache paint. Let's see, can I rotate the camera over this way and a little down this way? Okay. Okay, let's mix up some yellow orange. So we're gonna take orange and mix it with this like bright yellow. We have two toonie sized blobs of paint that, well, it's now rapidly spreading out, so it's not really toonie sized anymore. For those of you who are not Canadian, a toonie is our $2 coin, a loonie is our $1 coin. The toonie has a polar bear on it, the loonie has a loon on it, which is why it's called a loonie. Would be kind of cute if our what's it? Eugene says I have a Canadian $2 bill. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Yeah, I have a toonie on my desk right now, actually. It's right here. Here it is. There's the polar bear. And there's Elizabeth. Eugene says my social science teacher in grade 3 didn't believe me. Well, if she was a good social studies teacher, she would have known that we had those at one point. You brought it in for show and tell. That's so cool. Maybe if I finish painting everything tonight, I'll be able to put the lights in tomorrow. Not on stream though. I think I want to drill holes in this to install the lights, and I don't really feel like working with a drill on stream. Like, I don't really want to deal with the dust. And the noise, like, I don't know. For me, the maximum amount of noise I want to make on stream is what's it called? Is a heat gun. Yeah, Eugene says she had a book to teach us about Canadian money and was like, you don't have a $2 bill, what you have is a toonie. And I was like, oh, you want to bet? What was her reaction when she saw it though? She just forgot and you never brought it in? Do you guys have it framed or something? Like, do you have it displayed somewhere? Every time I look at that $2 bill, I remember that. Oh my goodness, I need a clean paper towel. So, okay. Here's one of the dumbest reasons I ever got in trouble at school. So, I think I remember we were talking about farm animals in class. Like, we were just talking about different animals, and then my friend was like, or my classmate, I don't know if we were really friends, this was in first grade. He was like, I know what sound a pig makes. It goes oink oink. And I was like, no, it goes right. And he was like, whoa, how'd you do that? That's such a real pig sound. And he was like really interested, right? So he's like, okay. All you gotta do is breathe in from your mouth and nose at the same time. He's like this, right? So I was like, yeah, you got it. And then our teacher was like, are you guys making snorting sounds? That is so rude. Go put your head down on the desk and like, don't come back to the carpet. Yeah, she's like, put your head down on the desk and like, think about what you've done. And I still like, at the time I didn't understand what I did wrong because it was on topic, but like, I still don't understand. Eugene says, my grandma for some reason had so many $2 bills and gave a lot to me and my siblings. Oh, you did bring the $2 bill, but she forgot the reason you did. That's funny. Okay, can you hear me now? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, at some point, the battery's gonna run out and you won't be able to hear me. When that happens, you'll know what happened. Yeah, see, just as I predicted. We are back. Hooray! But yeah, when did they stop making $2 bills? You've seen a $1,000 bill in person. I have not seen one of those before. I just saw like a picture of it at like the Chinese mall cafeteria, and they were like, we do not accept $1,000 bills or something. Like, I remember it being some kind of restaurant or store like that, and I was just like, why would anyone try to pay with a $1,000 bill there? How are you gonna get change for that, you know? It's probably fake. February 18th, 1996. Wow. That's crazy though. That means I know the $1,000 bill was being used for illegal trades. Yeah. That means I know some people who are older than the toonie. As of January 1st, 2021, the 1, 2, 25, $500, and $1,000 bills from every Bank of Canada series are no longer legal tender. These banknotes have not been produced in decades, so the decision to remove them from circulation has had little impact on most of us. The $1 and $2 notes stopped being issued in 1989 and 1996, respectively, and were replaced with coins. The $25 note was a commemorative note. Both it and the $500 note were discontinued shortly after they were issued in 1935. The $25 note is so oddly specific considering we have like a $20 note and a $5 note. Oh, Manix has redeemed Stretch. Thank you very much. Let me just get some of this paint down off my brush first, and then we'll get a stretch in. Okay. But yeah, imagine how expensive it would have been to make a $25 note. Okay, let's go to Just Face, and if you have been sitting for as long as I have been today, make sure you get a good stretch in. Feel free to stretch along with me. Gonna roll my sleeves down for fashion purposes. Also because my elbows are kind of cold. Okay. I have my camera here, so I have to be careful not to smack that, and I have a dress over here. So we don't have a lot of space today. Oh, I figured out a really cool, well, I think it's cool. I figured out a cool hack for how to be able to have my arm outside the blanket to pet my cat, but still have warm arms. So I have this like fluffy robe, and I just put my arm through one of the sleeves. So I have like my arm in the sleeve out of the blanket. So it's like a blanket sleeve, if that makes sense. And then that way I can pet my cat, but still have warm arms at night. I don't want to wear like a long sleeved shirt though, because if I do that, my other arm will be too warm, and that's the one that's under the blanket. I don't know, my cat sleeps on top of the blanket, so I have to have my arm out to pet him. Does that make sense? Oh, good old Maclean's. That's such a Canadian magazine, oh my goodness. I remember we used to get like a physical Maclean's subscription. Oh, this hurts. Like, I don't know, my forearm really hurts from hot gluing all of these letters today. But yeah, this is a good stretch. But yeah, I remember back in elementary school, I used to bring in pages from our Maclean's so that I could do current events presentations in school. And then I would have my little like typed up Microsoft Word document, and everything was like word art, and I would have borders on the outside edge of the page. Sometimes you just gotta, like, the title would be word art, and then my name would be in word art, and the date would be in word art, and then the font would be like Comic Sans or something. Eugene says, a commemorative $25 note bearing the date the 6th of May 1935 was issued to honor the Silver Jubilee of King George V. Similar to the 1935 series, the denomination was available in either French or English. Interesting. Bills in both French and English, huh? We don't have French and English bills anymore. We just have English. Okay, nice. Wait, you know what? I'm gonna show you guys what the big sign looks like. This is what we have so far. Do you guys like it? We have this gradient from pink to yellow, and I think it looks pretty rad. Oh boy. It's not heavy, I just hold my breath because I'm scared I'm gonna bonk something and get paint everywhere. Okay, let's switch back to hand cam. Here we are. Manic says I love it so much, and Ghosty thinks it's cool so far. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm so happy. I think it looks really good. I'm gonna add similar detailing to the letters, but instead of like magenta, pink, orange, and then yellow, it's gonna be blue, green, and teal. Alex says good morning. Hello. Oh my goodness. I've never been called DC before, but I'm okay with it. Eugene says one collector website says the $500 bill is worth between $20,000 and $60,000. Krimoka says, hi Joni, that looks so cool. Thank you. Hang on, let me show you guys who just came in what we have for the first part of the sign. Oh boy. This is what we have. I have lipstick on the back of this now. This is fine. I like smacked it against my face, but yeah. This is dimple, but it's backwards. But yeah, the entire sign I think is probably about 6 feet long. Here we go. Alex says, that's a big sign. Did you make that? Yeah. Krimuka says, it's gonna look so good. Yeah, I'm super excited. So, okay, how we made the sign is I cut out these letters out of cardstock, and then I have like cardboard on the side of them to kind of, I hate that sound. It was like, it squeaked for a second when I rubbed the back of my brush. But I have cardboard here to raise it up, and I don't know if you can see there's a bit of a lip on each letter. And that's so I can install lights underneath later. Now what I want to do is add a bit of like a painterly texture, because right now it's all just spray painted. I spent yesterday spray painting this so that all of the cardboard and all of the black cardstock would be completely covered up, and now I'm just going in and haphazardly brushing paint on everything. But you know what? If I didn't have as smooth of a surface as I do now, I feel like it would be harder to paint. So priming the surface with the right colors was a good idea. Alex says it looks really awesome. Thank you. I'm so glad you think so. But yeah, it always looks a bit iffy with the orange, just like this. But once I add that magenta border, it's gonna look way cooler. And it's kind of difficult going from like a super neat painting to a pretty messy one, but like deliberately messy, because I'm just like, oh no, my perfect smooth spray paint finish. But this was the plan all along, you know? And I didn't want to just have it be flat colors. I wanted that dimension and texture with it. Okay. Should be able to hear me. Let's see. Yeah, okay. This is why I need to remember to click my camera every so often, because if I don't, it'll time out like that. Before, when it timed out, I used to have to delete the source from Streamlabs and then install it again, but ever since the update, that's been working much better. Whoa. Not supposed to be orange. I have like a bunch of orange on the side of this letter. Alex says, I like the textured look. It gives it personality. Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm going for. Like, I don't want it to feel like it was a sign made by a machine. I want it to have this like warm, handcrafted look. It's kind of like what I do with my digital art. I like to make sure it's really sketchy looking, but like sketchy in a good way. But I feel like there's always a lot of pressure when you paint over something so smooth and pristine. You know, like, look how smooth these letters are. They're literally just shining, right? So there's always that pressure, because you're like, what if I add the texture in and it looks worse, you know? Like, what if I ruin it? It already looks very, I guess, quote unquote, perfect. But yeah, sometimes you just have to get a little messy and commit to your ideas. I don't want to think about having to make the whole sign all over again. Especially because my mom helped me a lot with the letters. Like, I'm really grateful to her because she was like, yeah, you're really busy right now, so let me know how I can help. And then I taught her how to, well, I showed her how I wanted them to be, and she was like, yeah, leave it to me. So I wouldn't want to ruin her hard work as well. But yeah, if you guys are wondering what this sign is for, it's for my first art show, which is coming up on April 9th. If you get tickets now, I think we might have like 4 spots left to be able to win an original watercolor painting. So if you want to get some mail from me, definitely consider getting a ticket. So yeah, this sign is gonna be at my booth for the show. Alex says, I tried doing an actual watercolor painting recently, it didn't go well. Honestly, watercolor is one of the hardest mediums there are. Like, it's a struggle, you know? And it takes a lot of practice. One of my old art teachers, he specialized in watercolor painting. And he was fantastic, you know? Oh, David, thank you so much for the follow. Hey, thank you. David says, I swear I was following. No, that has totally happened to me before. One time I went and I followed someone like when they weren't streaming, because I was like, oh no, I thought I followed earlier, like I really thought I did. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait till they're not streaming and then go follow them, right? And then they Discord messaged me and they were like, hey, thanks for the follow. And I was like, what? How did you notice? How did you know? And it's crazy because they have like 12K plus Twitch followers. Like, I don't know how they noticed. David says, I have also done that before. Alex says, I don't think my mixed media paper was good enough for it. Yeah, sometimes, like for watercolor, you need really heavy paper. Manic says, you can't escape streamers, Dimple, they know. True. To be fair, I actually do check my follower list every once in a while just because I like to make sure I know everyone's names. Alex says they always notice. Yeah. To be fair, he did say he was in the process of setting up a stream and like the notification just came on because he had Streamlabs open. Okay. I feel like I'm running out of magenta. I need more. Okay. we have our palette, and I'm gonna take red, make a little blob, and take some pink, make a slightly bigger blob. We're gonna mix that together. And hopefully it's the right color. I feel like we need a bit more red. I don't know. Might have been too much, but you know what? It's fine. No, that's like perfect. I know it's not mixed all the way through, but it's good for now. Alex says I've missed those crickets. Yeah, I was thinking of switching to like winter sounds when the snow started falling, because I was like, oh, I don't know if crickets are seasonally appropriate right now. And then I was like, you know what? Winter is miserable, and on my channel it will be eternal summertime, and I don't care, you know? Like, I was gonna switch out my, oh, thank you for joining the Chorus Mannix. I was gonna switch out my entire overlay seasonally, and I was like, that is way too much work. Even though I'll only have to design them once, you know, because then I can use them seasonally later. Like, seasons repeat, so, you know, it's like a good time investment. But at the same time, it's just so much work to make 4 different overlays, one for each season. And at the same time, I just felt like it wasn't very good for branding purposes. Like, it doesn't make my channel very recognizable if I have like 4 different aesthetics. Okay, I don't like how much there is here. Hang on. I'm just using a bit of water to dilute the paint so I don't have to use as much paper towel to smudge it. I mean, with the amount of spray paint on this, I don't think anything's going to be affected. Okay, we're back. Why do I feel like this looks way smoother than the other one? And like, not in a good way. Alex says, we don't get crickets where I live, so it's very soothing to have them in my ear at 4 in the morning. Nice. Yeah, I remember you were talking about that actually, and how I think your girlfriend missed the sound of the crickets when she moved. Was that the story? Oh, gross. I mixed yellow in with my pink and now it's like brown. It's not the color I wanted. It's not a very nice shade of brown either. Alex says, wow, good memory? Okay. I'm so glad I didn't just make that up. Like, I'm so glad it was something I actually remembered. I tend to remember a lot of really mundane things, but not a lot of really important things, I guess. Like, for example, like, I'll remember a random fact about one of my friends, but then I'll forget, like, when was that important appointment I had next week? Like, what day was it? What time was it? I don't know. Okay, that's cool. It looks a lot fruitier in person. Like, it's a nicer purple tone. Alex says my memory is terrible. Sometimes I won't even remember what I had for breakfast the previous day.